Hi everybody, it's Dan from Ant Gaming, and welcome back to Rimworld. This is Season 1, Episode 21 of Escape from Prison Planet 314. We have our convicts sleeping the night away as per usual, and we had a pretty uneventful episode the episode before this one. So we kind of expect that something may happen here, but it is Randy Random, so one never knows. But let's go ahead and get started and see what happens. Okay, so let's see. We got our power in. Better defenses would always be good, but that's why we're working on helmets. How's our block situation looking? Not bad. Let's see what else we got going on. It's we do not need it, just to point it out. We do have another geothermal. We have a bunch more steel. I'm not going to go collect it. We're going to use up some steel making stuff first. Technology-wise, I know we're working on hospital beds. Got a lot of other kinds of cloth. I'd like to see Sukihana finish that, but Sukihana is also working on that. What I might do, folks, is we want to invest the other 200 steel in another one of these. I forget what the speed increase is. It's not too much, 5–10%, something like that. Does pay off in the end. Certainly not a huge priority. We were going to do doormats. Why don't we do some of them? What do you guys think? The blue? So the large ones cover 2 spaces. The smaller ones cover a single space. And you can turn them and orient them. Looks like Sukihana's now going to work on the hat. Okay, so it looks like we actually finished 2 of the helmets, and Dennis stole one. Now Rasta has stolen one. I say stolen. Okay, well, if that's how we're going to play, let's go ahead and just queue up some of these doormats real quick. They don't take much cloth. So anything that's... Now see, this is a problem. That's why I want to get this stuff floored, right? But we'll just put them outside for right now. That's a little silly, but whatever. And we can always move them around later. Okay, and so those will get, as you can see, they're already getting constructed. But I guess what we're going to have to do is I can either force it off them, or I'm just going to queue up 2 more simple helmets. Everybody gets a simple helmet. One of the things that I believe might disappoint me is, yeah, literally they put down their cowboy hat. And with the temperature situation, that could be a problem. Now what we could do is we could, I think I showed you guys this much earlier on, in the assign, we can change outfits, and there's one like called Soldier, or we can make a custom one that wears the helmet, and then make another one that's like every day, and that has the cowboy hat. And then we could switch them, but of course that means they got to run all the way. I say all the way, but they got to run back here. You know, we got to switch them, and then they run back here and they switch their stuff based on their gear, right? It's kind of adds a sense of realism. It's like, well, why don't we just put all our guns over there too, and they have to go get our guns? Well, you could, but it would probably get a little bit tedious. But we'll see if the temperature is an issue before we go that way. So research finished, hospital bed. So we are absolutely, actually, I believe, completely done with the ones we had queued up. So, yep, see, need research project. So now the question is, do we continue to research? There's certainly other stuff we could use. Or do we get Rasta helping out maybe with some food for a little while? It's a good question that I don't have an answer for. I do have an answer. The cremation could be nice, but our little corpse pile seems to be working out okay. Gun turrets, which will take a number of things, will really potentially help us out defend, especially if we start going out. That's pretty tempting. Tempting enough that making our own medicine, you could brew alcohol, making pemmican for when we actually have to travel. These are all good ideas. And then there's lots of stuff that we pretty much probably don't need at all. Let's go ahead and move up towards the gun turrets. So we're going to put Rasta. I mean, we're doing okay with the meals. It's just I would rather be always practically sitting on 40, but that's fine. Okay, so that's going to happen and that's going to happen. I don't know why Sukiyana hasn't finished this. Yeah. Really? Fine. That's going to happen, then guess what? This is getting unsuspended. That way people can make stone blocks if need be as well. There goes another helmet. Beautiful. Looks like Sukihana's there. Which I'm ready to shoot Sukihana at this point. Just finish the... Thank you. Okay. Everybody has helmets now. As their steel. It definitely went down some. So now at this point, I guess one of the things that we can do that I could have done was what I just actually talked about. And so maybe we'll work on that, but it freezes time. Yeah, why not? I will write it down to do it off screen in between episodes. I'm going to create some outfits before I create the vests. So what I'll do is I'll create something like, and then I'll create a normal clothing one. So that way I don't have people in anything. Because if they're on anything, as soon as I put the vest down, they're going to go grab the vest. And I'm not going to control who gets it. Now I can make people, I can force people to drop stuff and things like that. But I think it's a good thing to do. So I will do that in between episodes. In the meanwhile, everybody's gone to bed. And we have plenty of stone to process. We're going to go ahead and process new stone. We did, if you remember, we put stuff here in this cooler. I'm getting to the point where I am actually thinking about flooring the rest of this out. We don't have enough stone to do it all, but like this is tracking dirt into here every time, I'm pretty sure. So I think we were doing the more floors. Did we do sandstone in here? Anyone remember? Kind of looks like it. Mosaic paving, marble. We still got marble, so why not? I won't do the whole fridge at once. Just we'll do it in sections. See, we got all this carpet here now too. Mosaic paving, marble. Just looks red like sandstone because of the. I think we already got. Oh, we did not. Oh wait, actually, never assume that I just did what I did, because you can replace. Yeah, it's a sterile tile. Yep. So we actually tiled that, so that's fine. So now we have cowboy hats galore, so we don't need any cowboy hats. Oh my. Tornado, jump to the location. Okay, the good news is it's way north, but it is north, and hopefully it does not head south. That's really loud. I'm going to move the screen slightly, and we'll just pray. I think we should be okay. You know, we'd be able to recover from that, truth be told. Oh, it left the map. It just skated right off the map. But, that would have not been a happy thing. How are we doing with the animals? So we got her trained. Should we train the elephant also to be an attack elephant? What do you guys think? Rescuing an attack elephant? I don't think it's a bad thing. Very good. So we got this done, and we still have some marble. And everybody's working. So let's go back and let's do another bit, right? And let's get this done. Yeah, we did not get this done. Oh yeah, we did. Okay. Let's get this done. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to do this that way. I will not forget. Now this was going to be a door, but we were waiting until sort of, the rest of the thing got up. There won't be a whole lot of reasons, I would think, to come into this door, but that was going to be a door. So maybe we'll handle that as well. Yeah, look, we just went through pretty much all the marble there. So that's fine. Yuji's working on stone, Suki's working on that. I think we have enough, spare pants and shirts that it wouldn't be a desperate situation if someone got almost worn out. This isn't a lot of batteries, and this is actually going to be a spare battery room anyway, but it's sufficient for our situation. Our power draw isn't so sharp that it should be a problem. And now we're probably not draining these at all at night. This produces so much power all the time. So we have a pregnant alpaca. This is now actually full. So this is the only storage area that I set up to allow cloth, skin, leather, hide, fur, that kind of stuff. I don't think I set this up to have anything, did I? Did I really? I set this up to have drugs? That seems unusual for me. Oh, smoke leaf joints, which we don't have any more of. That's the only thing I set in here, huh? Okay. Well, let us instead go over here. Put smoke leaf joints in there. Go to this one. Copy the settings. Go over here. Paste the settings. So now we have a whole nother section for the cloth and hides and what do you call it. If we get someone who's interested, we'll probably... These may not be efficiently stacked, number one. Number two, we may have like a lot of little piles of, because people have been leaving us stuff, where maybe we've got some Labrador fur and what do you call it? Oh, you know what I completely forgot about, guys? Hospital beds. So we now have, this is a slight dilemma, but we didn't replace all our wood walls with what do you call it, but that's fine. I mean, most of them are stone. We never finished quite all of our, shall we say, reconstruction, but one of the concerns about the hospital is put this out here, which is very good to keep them cooler. The issue is that the reason we keep the bedroom doors closed is otherwise sometimes sounds as people walk by or things like that, it interrupts their sleep. It can happen similarly with hospital patients. Still counts as a hospital room if we put hospital beds in it. Now, if we close the door, the vent should still work. Just probably maybe not quite as effective. So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to not hold that open. We're going to look at hospital beds, which are under furniture, I believe. So they're expensive. 120 steel and 10 medicine. Of the pretty good medicine, of which we only have 36. So, and we did use some steel. So we're going to start with 2. 2 is plenty decent, and we'll just go ahead and put them here at the end. So now we'll have some official hospital beds, and this will become an official hospital room, which is a good thing. Less chance of infection. If we decide to do, they don't have to sit there and heal in their own bedroom. Sort of we have a dedicated cooler, and Gosh, something else, I'm sure. So one of the things I like doing that I don't, we have enough power, probably have enough steel and everything was, you know how I use this little mod for the little fridges here for the food? I like to make a fridge in the hospital and put medicine in it. Because that means if they go there to heal, it makes the doctor's job, rather than have to run off to the cooler, which isn't that far in this base, but rather than run off the cooler, they just come here, they grab the medicine, they walk right over to the hospital bed, and, you know, make it happen. Looks like we finished gunsmithing, so they'll just continue on their way on the research tree. Rasta will, and that's fine. So let's look at that. I think it was under temperature, right? And there was the, we'll go with the dual fridge. I don't think we need a quad in this case. We'll have one stack of herbals and one stack of the good meds is what it'll come down to. Now, where do I want to put this? I can put it right here. I don't see any reason why not. Okay, so that'll get constructed. So, superior, good. You see how it's room 10 infection chance factor. It's, you know, the hospital's decent. So that's good. That bed's good. That's fine. 2 hospital beds. Looks like Sukihana's working on some stones. We got a lot of sandstone now. So we don't have the marble we were using over here, but we could now say, hey, let's go get some flooring in. Oh, so now let's take a look at the storage. We don't want meals in here. What we want is medicine. And we'll go ahead and put the herbal and the normal. And so Suki is already hauling that off. And hopefully someone will come by and get the rest of our normal meds at some point and put them in there as well. That will make for a much better situation. I was just talking about flooring, wasn't I? Sandstone, right? So this isn't floored, don't care, we don't go in there that much. Bench will probably do it. We're flooring this, but we're going to do it in marble. We're going to just try and stick. This was all smooth floor. It looks like we got a little bit of more marble, so we're finishing that off. So really at this point it's probably the supply rooms. The other thing to keep in mind is doing these hallways. Oh, another alpaca is pregnant. Now for the supply rooms, because I kind of divvy them up into 4, that's just kind of how I roll. I usually like to actually cover them. I like to mix and match. Oh, I'm going to pause because we're so idle. So what I will do is, for example, oh, that's all flooring. Oh, this is me being silly. Okay. This is going to be horrible, guys, but this is what we're going to do. It does. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick. That is a mosaic. So we did the doors leading out of here. So I'm going to zoom in and we're going to set this up to be mosaic. But only so. I've given up on the whole beauty. Beauty is not for me, right? It's my new phrase. Everything I play, beauty is not for me. Okay, so that's going to take care of that room with very little sandstone. It's going to take a long time to smooth it, but that's what we'll start with. Okay, that'll give people things to do. Dennis, you're shooting. That's fine. E.G., apparently you're playing some billiards. I got no issue with that. That's what it was made for. Now Dennis is either headed to bed or Dennis has found work. We should check out some other things while they're in bed, like what is the home area at this point? No reason not to make this home area and this home area. I mean, we could make everything in here home area if we wanted. Not that worried about fires, obviously, because there's so little to burn. And then do we really want to like run out there to try and put out a fire? That's a little silly. Yeah, so I think we're okay. Funny, we don't have to use this clear snow area, not in this biome. I say that and then watch. We'll have some freak snowfall. Okay, so they're going to be working on this for a while. That's fine. Working on stones for a while. It's still very, very quiet out. We could go dig some more steel now that we're down. That'll give us enough to do the steel vest. We used it on the helmets and the beds. Wow, we caught up on meals. Good job. Jem must have just had some uninterrupted time or something. What do you guys think? We could also do some hauling of some stones in here. I could do that with the pets. What were we short on? The marble, right? We were using the marble. All this stuff. Let's just flag this stuff. There. Set it to haul normal. That's fine. We still got a lot of wood. With that in mind, got some great chairs in here. This dining room is very impressive. Got some normal chairs. There's nothing wrong with normal chairs, but they're normal. Why don't we just fill out a couple spots more over here? That's fine. And then we'll just build a couple more chairs here. There we go. Okay, so it looks like this part of the floor got done. This is not. All the smoothing hasn't, but that's fine. Now they're going to go get some smoothing done. Dennis is going to do... Beautiful. Dennis is going to go grind some rocks into blocks. Looks like our chairs are done. How's this? Somewhat impressive. Very impressive. Okay. Our moods seem to be holding pretty well. So... apparently someone insulted someone and a hot thing. That's not good. But probably a lot of these other things are really working out in our favor at this point. Looks like we're bringing in some more hay. We seem to be fine on the hay. They're eating grass, but as long as we keep hay on hand and we keep growing new, we're good. The only thing I can see is when we get ready to get on the road, with a pack of elephants, we'll probably want to grow some significant crops of hay before, so that way we'll have food for the elephants. Hopefully they eat it as they travel. Horrible if they ate our good food. This chocolate seems to be disappearing. You think she's using the chocolate in the meals, or people are just grabbing snacks? Don't know. Be so sad if she was using it in the meals. I mean, I could stop that if that was really the case. I could be like, hey, are you actually using... That doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so people are snacking on it. Okay, blowback operations research done. Great. Look at that. We're actually now working on gun turrets. That did not take very long. Now let's explain why. It is an advanced research. We don't have the multi-analyzer, which would speed us up. But I bet you Rasta at this point, Rasta's a big 14. 14. So Rasta's blowing through research at this point. Just because we've kept Rasta sitting in that chair. It looks like, oh, a lot of the smoothing is getting done. There's a good thing. Jem got a lot of our backup simple meals done because she finally got up to 40. So that was what happened there. And then she, stops working on those. Looks like we got a rat, we got some boars, we got some boom rats. But other than that, very, very quiet. We've got some jade, some squirrels, some other elephants. Our wonderful rhino, Kenya. That corpse is still decaying up there, plus the people who attacked there are almost gone. So, it's a question, folks, about should we start training up elephants? or attempting to train elephants. I seriously think that that is probably an objective or a goal at this point. Um, our weapons are still, not top notch. We have the simple helmets, not the advanced helmets. We don't have any armored vests, so a lot of ways we got a lot to go. We certainly don't have the good technology as far as, for example, traveling food. But one of the things I'd like to actually talk about is the potential plan for how the hell we're going to get out of here. So, with my limited experience, but some knowledge, my understanding is we have two ways to go. Well, besides the dying in a horrible, horrible accident. One is we can build our own spaceship or escape pod type deal. The other is, in an early episode, we had a friendly AI tell us where there was a sort of hidden escape pod / ship, but it was very far away. And we could try and travel there. And although I've never done it, my understanding is if you travel there, it used to be I think you just escape, but now you got to go there and then you got to kind of like defend it or hold it for a while, while let's just say while the ship fuels up or whatever the case may be. I don't know how long that is, but so it would be one, a long trip, and then two, the defense of it. So obviously, if we were going to just stay here and build it, we need to defend, we need to potentially research it, we need to trade for materials, maybe even venture out into some other areas for materials that were hard to find. If we end up actually going there, trying to travel to the other one, we get two basic ways for going there. One is we get a bunch of pack animals. We either keep our group small to the 3 or whatever, get up enough travel food, and we travel for as far as we think is comfortable, and then we settle down. We think we could get enough food and everything to go all the way, great, but otherwise we settle down somewhere, kind of build up a base, try and grow some food. Doesn't have to be as elaborate as this, but grow some food and get resupplied to move on. The second way of getting there would be you can actually create, we can see it in the research tree. Where are they? They're here somewhere. I'm blind. Pods. Transport pods. So these are launchable transport pods. So we can launch people and supplies. They only carry so much, so we'd have to build a bunch of pods. And then you have to build the little refueling stations. Per my understanding, you can only research, or they take chem fuel, which again, I think we can make with a chem fuel thing and wood, which of course is a hassle for us, but we could do it. We could build up a bunch of chem fuel. And at that point, you can load up the pods, the transport pods, and you can jump. The issue, to my understanding, I'm going to pull up the world map real quick, is that I think even with a fully fueled transport pod, you can only travel 66 tiles, I think was what the wiki said. So when we look at where our base is, and I'm going to show you, I'm zooming out. You see that purple flag way up there? That's where the hidden ship is. So that is probably, I'm guessing, something like 4 or 5 jumps, transport pod jumps. Now, we might be able to land, 66 away somewhere. Maybe we can bring a bunch of food and chem fuel and build the platform so the transport things back up, steel, whatever else you need to make the things, refuel them, make another jump. I don't know that we could carry enough to do like 6, subsequent, or 5, or whatever it's going to take, subsequent jumps. Now, But that is the other way. Now, when we originally, I think we might have looked at this way back when we had it. If I flag this, I talked about like I followed roads. This claims that this is 35 days. Now, as you can see, it sort of tries to get to roads, which allows for faster travel, but there's a lot of overland travel here. It tries to go up a river here, you know, that kind of stuff to get us there. And this last stretch that's tundra. And this is probably, sorry, this is probably none too nice either. That's boreal forest. It's pretty cold too. So it says 35.1, but the truth is the travel time over any of this stuff is going to be longer, along with any swamps or anything like that. So let's just double it, maybe even worse. Double it, 70 days of travel. So I don't know it's even possible for us to carry 70 days worth of food. And of course we might, you know, run into what happens if we get attacked as we go, which is very likely. You know, do we just settle down and heal, you know, and then does that eat into our food supplies, you know, blah, blah, blah. So that's something to think about. I'm obviously thinking about it, for us to figure out what we're going to do. Regardless, that's going to take us accumulating, stockpiling stores. That's going to take us researching some technologies one way or another, either, you know, for food. It's going to take us taming animals in the one case, you know, bunch of stuff. So EG's doing some stones. It looks like they finished that one. So what we're going to actually do is I'm going to just pause it real quick. We're going to do the floors again, get this other one done while the world is quiet, if you will. Okay, so that's all going to get smooth. Now, that's going to get smooth. That's not going to get smooth. So, under more floors, we were using the sandstone. Looks like that one needs doing. These are going to need doing. And that should take care of that room. Fabuloso, right? That'll take a while for them. We just queued up the work. Looks like we're getting some marble back. So hopefully by the time, you know, we get done with this, we'll be able to, I don't know that we'll have enough to do this whole thing, but we're getting close. So we'll get that. Once we have this done, we have this to smooth out. We smoothed most of this, but down here, and this to floor. If we actually put up the walls for the potential additional rooms, that could save us some flooring effort. And then we pretty much just have like the hallway or any decorative stuff. And that's it. We're not going to build bigger than that. I mean, that's what we got. That's pretty sizable as it is. And that's the plan. So EG's hard at work putting the floors down. Gem is so caught up with the cooking that Gem's helping out with some stones. Suki looks like Suki's relaxing, which is good stuff. Now helping with the floors. Nice, very, very nice. Well, maybe with that in mind, folks, we do have some limestone still. If I can remember what I was going to do here, I think we were going to do it like this. It was just going to be another set of bedrooms, essentially, is what was going to happen here. And we're going to leave this, we're going to create a special outdoor room here is essentially what's going to happen. So we can go ahead and do that too, because we want the air conditioning to still vent to the outside. So we'll just do that like that. And if we want to make it, like that? I think so. Okay. Similarly, down here, if we ever grew to this size, which I had no idea whether that was going to happen or not. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stan executing poorly. So there you go. Right? Then we'd put doors in, we'd put floors down, we'd get, we'd probably need another air conditioner for these. This air conditioner is only helping these. I could create vents. We'd probably create another air conditioner into here to do these three. So there you go. We have this will be a hallway, right? And all good. So let's go ahead and put those walls in. Just another thing to get sort of out of the way and done. Wow, I think she's on gun turrets right now, if I recall. Ross is going to be done with that in no time. Then what we'll do is, you know what, I think we will start researching some of those potential options we just discussed. So maybe the pemmican and the packaged survival meals and the transport pods. Even if we don't pull the trigger on building the things yet, we'll get them out of the way. So that way, if we make a decision, it'll take us less time to sort of turn it around and sort of execute on that. So this is actually probably a mistake what I've done here, but it's not a huge deal. And the mistake is I could have, these are going to need vents, and I could have put the vents in rather than building blocks, but fine, they can get replaced later. It's not the end of the... That way everybody gets a feel for what's happening here as well. How much sandstone do we have left? 217. It's actually pretty good. That won't be enough to cover all of these. There's gun turrets. Okay. So Rost is now done. So what we just said, we actually now need to think about some gun turrets, maybe for extra defense. But let's do some of those things that we said we were talking about prep. So let's research pemmican as an example. Actually, this is tribal. I don't know if you need bedrolls when you're traveling. I probably should check that, but I think it's one or the other, and I think that's fine. But let's do... That's a lot, but we've researched more than that before. So let's go ahead and do refining. This would be how we make chem fuel. So that kind of goes with the transport pod idea. Let's do the meals first. And then we can go ahead and do refining. And we can go ahead and do the transport pod. Honestly, at the end of this, Rasta won't know how to do anything but research. Okay. So we probably ran ourselves out of limestone. Not a big deal. I'm sure there are other limestone blocks that will eventually come in. So EG's going to go work on smoothing. Wow, it's just been so quiet. This is, we like some excitement for you guys, but I think that's sometimes why people do play Cassandra or Phoebe, because it's pretty much guaranteed. One's a shorter interval, one's a longer interval between the raids, but it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to have that raid. And for some people, that's enough excitement. But I've always liked Randy because Randy can really give you 3 things in a row, and it's not just a raid. It can be, oh my goodness, you gave me a heat wave, you just took away my electricity, and here comes a tornado rolling through. Those things can happen, or you can get positive stuff too. So I kind of stick to my gun. That's how I like to play, and I want to make it exciting for you folks, but I just have to hope Randy makes it exciting. And hopefully I can just teach you other stuff. And hopefully there's enough stuff going on that you're observing and yelling at me to fix, that it's still entertaining. So let's look here. We got a lot of marble now. So he does have a lot to smooth. But you guys think? Smoothing, marble floor, smoothing. Guess we can queue it all up. Soon as I say that, something. So how about we just queue this up? Queue this up. Looks like we didn't finish that. Queue up that, queue up that, queue up this, and queue up that. So this would be about the only thing I think that we would have left to do in this cooler, is take this out, put a door there. That way people have, you know, rather than have to walk all the way around, they have easy access. Of course they can walk out this door and in, so it's, you know, not the end of the world, but that was the idea. So why don't we do that as well? I'll queue this up for deconstruction. Actually, I don't even have to do that, do I? All I really have to do is say hello to my little wood door friend. They'll handle that. Nice, -3. Looks like there's some fog out. PG's gonna handle putting the door in, that's fine. And then what we want to do is, because I couldn't put that floor down right there when that was there, we will flag this to also get flooring. And that should be the entire cooler. Looks like Hermione is having a nice little meal to eat. Looks like Rasta is trying to train the elephant. The elephant is going to take some wool. You're definitely still collecting wool. So you can't use wool, I think, directly, just for learning, folks. There is a wool loom. So you could build the wool loom and people would turn the wool into cloth, I think, or something like that. So some of the buildings we haven't built a sculptor's table, which builds art, which makes rooms nicer and makes people feel better, and you can sell it too. We haven't built a field smithy or a smithy. There's another one too, electrical one, which we haven't researched, which you can use for weapons and stuff that we don't tend to use, like melee stuff, I think. And in addition, you can smelt metal, I believe. So that junk metal that we were collecting over here, you can smelt it and get some steel. What else? Nutrient dispenser. Well, you can have your people eat nutrient paste. And there's the hopper to feed it. And prosthetics. And you can research higher ones too. Like maybe for that person who we imprisoned and almost decided to recruit, who's missing the shoulder and arm, maybe we could have built them very, very crude, but maybe eventually better prosthetics. So those are some of the things we haven't taken advantage of. Looks like we have researched pemmican. That's fine. That was a pretty quick one to do. Yeah, we're still working on the floor and the fridge, but making great progress. Probably freezing our tushies off. Still very super quiet out. Look at that floor go. Let's see what we got on the map. So we got boomalopes, alpacas, elephants, boom rats, a couple emus, some rats, rhinos, squirrels, and wild boars. So the wildlife has changed to some degree since we originally started. Got a lot of the big animals like the rhinos and stuff, but we've definitely seen some introduction of other animal life. I don't remember whether... Okay, so this doesn't freeze, so I'll show you this as well. It's a basic history screen. It shows your wealth at the beginning, both from items and from buildings. You know, we would have had no buildings to start with. We would have had some items that we dropped with. And then the cumulative total. So this is used, FYI, in a calculation for raid strength. The number of people you have, the number of building wealth, the number of material wealth that you have, that goes into the calculation for how strong a raid it is, along with some other things. This is just, again, tells us how we're playing the game. We've had 8 enemy raids, 9 major threats. I don't know what exactly constitutes a major threat. Heat wave, tornado, I'm not 100% sure what qualifies. Damage taken, interesting little stat. But anyway, and you can change. It's not super complex. Looks like everybody is getting ready and going to bed. It's a good thing. So while they're doing that, does it pause in relations? So the relations, another tab I didn't really explore with you guys. You can look at your individual convict or colonist interrelations, and you can click on people. So I'm looking at EG, but I could look at from Jem's perspective and that kind of thing. In addition, you can click up here and you can look at the factions. So these are the factions that are on the planet. That's us over here in gaming, and we can look at them and we can see that, you know, we're pretty friendly with them, we're pretty friendly with them, and these three, no. But, and there's some other stuff you can look at. So, but that's kind of that tab. Let's see, did we miss anything? I think we've looked at most. We've talked about maybe me configuring some clothing configurations in between episodes. And yeah, we haven't messed with this too much, but we use it when we need people to stay at home. You can also map what hours or what activity to some degree. We haven't had to change that in a while since we set it up. So to me, that's ideally what you want to do. This is the mod, the cleaning mod. You can select a different area to clean. Like as an example, I could say, you know what, I don't want to waste time out here cleaning any of this, even if it's in the home area. I can make a different cleaning area. So that can be useful. Oh, visibility of zones. That probably, it would de-highlight all my stockpiles and things like that. But I actually like to see them in the different color. Dennis is up, playing some pool. Billiards. Cleaning. I wonder what we have this set at, because we're down to 18 mils. It's still paused. We unpaused at 5. Let's unpause at like 10 these days. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that was my bad. That was the simple. That's fine. What do we? Oh, we unpaused at 10 there. Okay, so in there actually that's unpaused already, and they'll be crafting. Looks like we brought in. We don't have many plots of the smoke leaf because we had food concerns. Looks like we're sitting on a lot of food at this point. How grown is this? That's grown. I'd like to get some money rolling in, honestly. So maybe we will turn off sowing on the next one of this and go back to smoke leaf. You know, there's no reason I couldn't, for example, we didn't leave us a lot of space, but, you know, some of this is soil. I could certainly plant another soil here now that we've got the outer wall. Nothing stopping me from doing that. Something I'll certainly give some thought to. We could just like make a freaking like a 20-row smoke leaf and just grow a big batch or something like that rather than play the switchy game. You know what? No switchy game. See how quick I make these decisions, think about them, and then I'm like, is this actual soil? It is. What do you guys think? Should we just make a little smoke leaf? You know, no big deal. If it lives, it lives. We profit. I can make it down here too. I like it better up here in sort of our bunkered stronghold. Let's do it. Zone areas, growing zone. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 by 10. Change this up. Smoke leaf. Now I will be curious to monitor this because well, we can fix this too, right? I was afraid the animals, you know how I have that unfounded fear that animal no crops There we go. So we still got a lot of wood, and I did make extra furniture. See, these are better than, ooh, masterwork. These are way better than what we originally made. So actually what I'm considering doing is maybe if we can finish some of these other bedrooms, or start to finish them. Electric stove broke down, that's fine, they'll go repair it. We're still sitting on 16 components and 377 steel, so no worries there. But, and there it is. We have a raid. And a solar flare at the same time. So, solar flare just shut off all of our electricity. So coolers, you name it. It's actually one of those funny things that I completely forgot about the gun turrets that we researched. So if we'd built some gun turrets, well, they'd be down anyway. So that's unfortunate, but that's fine. Then we have a raid. A group of pirates from the Rangers have arrived. Oh my goodness. In drop pods nearby. It looks like they want to use sappers to tunnel around your defenses. So it sounds like they didn't drop on our base proper with these drop pods, but we'll have to see that. But then they're going to have people who can use grenades or mining and go straight through our walls. This is going to be a huge potential issue for us. It will be the first test, real test, of whether I have any kind of tactical skill at all, because they're not going to probably walk through our traps because they can go right through our walls. So let's go take a quick look. So they appear to be landing over here. Now, they may not all be visualized on screen yet. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drop pads. They're coming straight here. I pretty much guarantee you that means they're very likely probably going to come straight through this wall, and it won't take them long. We did not build, and that was something I wanted to definitely do that I freaking just forgot and didn't think about, was once we had this, I wanted to at least build a, kind of like we have this little defensive bunker here, I wanted to build a defensive bunker here. This is, it's not built, which means once they come through the wall, where do we have? We do have some natural potential defenses maybe we can use. Maybe we can split them up. These are things that we are going to have to save for next time. Hope we can manage. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Leave it on a cliffhanger here. And we'll see you next time.